Welcome to the fourth part of ordering of sentences. Ordering of sentences, also called as parajumbles or jumbled sentences, is one of the most important areas in various competitive exams. In these kind of questions, a paragraph with jumbled sentences is given to us. Each sentence will carry some clue. It is up to us to understand the clue, connect the clue, and be able to form a coherent paragraph. In the previous videos, we saw that there are two different kinds of parajumbles. One is called a floating jumble, the other is called a rooted jumble. We also discussed different strategies that we follow to arrange these jumbles in an order. The first strategy that we look into is identifying independent sentence. Independent sentence, as the name suggests, does not require any sentence to support or back it. It is a general statement made. Following that, we understood that there are several mandatory pairings that we do to be able to arrive at a coherent passage. The first mandatory pairing that we look into is from general to specific. Always general sentences appear first, followed by specific sentences. The next would be noun, pronoun, full form followed by abbreviation, questions followed by answers, problems followed by solution, statement followed by an example, supporting signal words followed by contradictory signal words. We also learned how to solve few jumbled questions. We'll move on and solve a few more in this video. This is a rooted jumble. A rooted jumble is where the first and sixth sentence is already predetermined. It is fixed at a position. We need to be able to arrange the sentences in between and form a passage. Here, please note that the first sentence can be looked into as an independent sentence. That can be considered as the logic behind the paragraph. Kindly pause your video to be able to arrive at an answer of your own. The answer for this question is D, C, B, A. If you read through the sentences, you will understand why we have paired the sentence D with sentence 1. Sentence 1 introduces to the idea that will be discussed in this paragraph. It talks about what are the attractions in the countryside. It is a general statement made. It is an introductory statement. We are getting into the specifics of what the attractions are in the countryside. That is discussed in sentence D. It talks about the lovely scenery, the interesting and varied wildlife, the long rambles through the wood, fields, and the clean, healthy air. You will further see the same elaborated in sentence C. It talks furthermore the attractions in the countryside. It talks about the honesty and frankness of the country folk and so on. However, when you look at the next sentences, that is B and A, they are the remaining ones. B and A, they are introducing the opposite of what we are seeing in the first three sentences. The first three sentences talks to us about what are the attractions in the countryside, whereas sentence B introduces to us the contradictory picture of the countryside. It introduces so with the usage of the word but. It says, but there is another side of the picture. Sentence A and sentence 6 talk to us what the other side of the picture is. As such, we arrive at our answer to be D for this question. The next question will be as such. Kindly pause your video to be able to arrive at an answer on your own. The answer for this question will be 3 BDCA. Here we are pairing sentence B with sentence 1. In sentence 1 we read the ears are fragile instruments. Sentence B is further talking about what actually happens in the ear. It tells us when sound waves enter the ear, they cause the eardrum to vibrate. Sentence D is further taking us and telling us what actually these vibrations do. They're giving us more explanation to already mentioned statement B. Sentence D tells us that vibrations are transmitted to the cochlear in the inner ear, where fluid carries them to nearly organized rows of hair cells. Furthermore, we'll continue to sentence C. We pair that with sentence D. It tells us these in turn. Now here we are using the mandatory pairing of noun and pronoun. These, we are connecting it with the sentence D. It tells us these in turn stimulate auditory nerve fibers, each attuned to a different frequency. We finally use sentence A. These impulses travel via the auditory nerve. Now you can see that sentence C introduces the word auditory nerve, and sentence A further emphasizes, explains to us what auditory nerves do. They take the impulses to the brain where they are interpreted as, say, words, music, or an approaching vehicle. And finally, 6 is the concluding statement, which says damage to this delicate apparatus results both from volume and length of exposure to sound. We'll take into consideration another paragraph here as an example. This is a rooted jumble where sentence 1 and sentence 6 are already in a set position. They're fixed in its place. Kindly pause your video to arrive at an answer on your own. The answer for this question is 2. In this question, we see that sentence 1 says, water is a renewable natural resource and a public good. We have connected it with sentence C that says, but the ownership right on land bestows a private character on water. We are connecting sentence 1 with sentence C and telling us how it is giving us a contradictory idea. In sentence 1, it tells us that water is a natural resource, it's a public good. Whereas in sentence C, it tells us, however, if that place where there is water is owned by a certain person, the water also belongs to that person. It further continues, it elaborates and tells us, however, most rivers, ponds, lakes and aquifers are common property. It is telling us, though people consider it as such, but all these water bodies are common property. We take it therefore. Therefore, we are concluding. Therefore, water rights are not clearly defined and the right to use these resources is not protected. Then we connect that with sentence B. Hence, excluding others from using water is not possible and the results are competition, over-extraction and conflict. You can also connect the sentence B with sentence 6. However, cooperation has a greater role in achieving social harmony in water allocation and increasing human welfare. When we are answering questions on para-jumbles, there is a quick way of arriving at independent sentences or generally arriving at answers. We will talk about that in our next video.